Welcome to I Heart Geek.
And welcome to another episode of I Heart Geek, another quarantine edition and another Zoom edition. We're on YouTube. If you haven't watched it, this is half the show is going to be visual gags. So yeah, I hope you're watching this on YouTube. Yeah. So let's go around the table real quick. I'm Dub. I'm your host, and I didn't write crap for this because I said, hey, let's wing it. That scares me. Okay,
I foresee nothing going wrong.
No, nothing at all.
It's gonna be great.
And on the screen that you all are watching, on the left is my good buddy, Miss Geeky Page. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you? I can't wait to talk about Archer.
Yes, we're talking about Archer today. Thank you for burying the lead.
Never. Wow. Most of the time, you forget to introduce people, so.
No, I don't. Okay, so on with the show. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, and to my bottom left, we have an old friend of the show, Miss Cari Scholtens. How are you doing?
I am great. It's good to see you guys and meet you other guys. So thank you for having me on.
Is it kind of weird being with all the other people? Usually it's me, and I think you've been with Kaj before.
Oh, yeah, I have. Yep. And then I've been with Winchester before. And yeah. Wow.
Swear to God, I had something for this.
It starts. You guys mind if I glue up? Yeah. No, I've met the whole crew, but these guys are new. So thanks again for having me on. I like Archer also.
Outstanding. And to my bottom right, we have the voice of the show himself, Mr. Todd. Harvey, how you doing, bud?
Splendid, Wendell. It's great to be back. Nice to meet you, Cari. Good to see you again, Court. And hey, let's get the show on the road, baby.
Yeah. Let's see how long we can go before I have to edit everything out. Because
it's getting pretty close already.
Okay.
The big red button's going to be busy today.
Now, to be fair, we're discussing the show Archer. If you haven't watched the show Archer, don't watch the show, or don't watch this show. Because this is all gonna be inside jokes and sploosh.
Go watch Archer and then come back and
at least the first 3 to 5 seasons.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
We will be trying to hold our standards of family friendly. If your kids are really sharp, they're going to catch a lot of jokes they probably shouldn't catch. Yeah. If your kids are like my kid, they'll be fine. They won't even notice.
Wow.
Sharp as a marble.
My kids
sharp as a bowling ball.
And my kids listen to the show, so they're going to be so mad at me when this is done. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Okay. Now let's talk about the show Archer. What's our first kind of take on it? And I'll start with mine. And the first thing that caught my attention was the really, really cool animation style. It's like hyper realistic if it was done in a coloring book. You know, there's real thick lines around everything, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But the animation style is really what drew me into the show in the first place. What's the first thing that you guys caught, Courtney?
I came late to the Archer party.
Yes, you did. You just started, didn't you?
About a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took you a year to watch it?
Yeah. It took me a year to. I just started watching it a year ago.
Oh, okay.
Because I was like, oh, that looks stupid. I don't think I want to watch it. And then I was sick one day, and I'm like, fine, I'll find out what all the fuss is about. Mm-hmm. And I sat there and I watched everything I could in one day.
Binged.
I literally binged it, and I was sick for like a week, so I was able to finish all the seasons up into I want to say up into season 7. That's how much was available. But yeah, I think for me, what drew me in originally was, I guess I'll see what all the hype is about.
Fair enough.
And it lived up to it.
I just remember, like, when it first started, I just remember this weird looking show that was like on FX at like a weird time. It was like new episodes at 10:30 on FX, and it was like, what the heck is this? And like
that was a stunning representation of the actual advertiser's voice on that.
It really was. Well, she's the voice actress, so I mean, what do you want?
Thank you. But yeah, and then like the original, like the first season especially was like that hyper realistic animation style, but at the same time, like all the movement was like that paper doll, like they only moved at the joints. Like, it was just a really interesting aesthetic, and the humor was just spot on and like laugh out loud funny, and that's what got me.
Todd?
I heard from a guy at work, dude, you got to see this show. It's ridiculous. I was like, all right, I'm into ridiculous. And so I don't sleep very much, so I'm up late at night. Not a problem. And so not knowing what I was getting into, I did what I usually do. Yes, I grabbed
Did you binge?
I grabbed my glass and had that much scotch and sat down, and all of a sudden I see a guy on the screen with a
drinking scotch.
And I'm like, I'm home.
Yeah.
Of course, the humor was just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was akin to the first time I saw the Benny Hill Show, honestly.
Well,
I just couldn't stop giggling.
That's actually really good. That's an interesting comparison.
It's like
just the irreverence.
Art. Like,
yeah.
It's dirty.
And
dirty.
A complete sense of we don't give a
bleep
darn if you think this is funny or not. Kind of like Dub's humor. He doesn't care if you think it's funny or not.
It's funny in my head.
Yeah. So that's what twigged me to it initially, and I've been an avid fan since.
Well, let me go back to the dirty humor thing with it. Yes, the show is as dirty as you can possibly imagine, but it's written smart enough that unless you're looking for it, you don't catch it. There's a couple things that you're always going to catch. You're going to catch sploosh. You're going to catch. You don't always catch the phrasing until after it's said.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also not afraid to use the words that we can't use on this podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're at 10:30 on FX.
So many different words for penis on this show.
Oh my gosh!
There's the first one.
I'm gonna have to go.
I can't say.
Okay, it would have been okay if you would have just left it at one and then we keep going with it. Now you're making me uncomfortable, Todd.
For me, honestly, like I love like the pop culture references. Like,
oh my gosh!
Like when he calls karate the Dane Cook of martial arts, or like at the end of the episode, the one with the Zeppelin, when Lana's like, Captain Lammers, he's like, nice read, Velma. It's like some of those things you got to watch those episodes like 3-4 times to catch everything, and I think that makes the show that much more rewatchable and just
a hell of a point. Halfway through the second season, it occurred to me that in almost every episode that involves gunplay, Archer is the only one who counts shots.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, yes. Todd and I are both security, and we're armed, so we get that. But anybody that's professional would do it, but nobody else knows when they run out of shots ever on that show.
Well,
it's not that he knows when he's out of shot. He knows when
everybody
else
is
right. I love it too that they kind of break the fourth wall a fair amount. Like whenever they talk about
amounts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Whenever they talk about like I think they even addressed what year is it in the show, because like you kind of get the vibe that it's like 70s, 80s, maybe like not like maybe mid 80s, but then like they'll mention it and they're like, who remembers? And it's just like, it's awesome. It's awesome.
That's actually what I want to get next. Like, when do you think it is? Let's stay away from the later seasons where, the space and the noir and all that. He's all in a coma. Spoiler. Anyway, they're all fake. It's in his mind.
See, fans? Now you don't have to watch the show at all.
Now you don't have to watch any of it.
Spoiler alert, man.
There's a few of those seasons that I think you can stay away from and be happier that you did. We'll get into that later.
Well, pox on you.
What year do you think it is? I mean,
1991.
Close? 91. Wow.
That's weirdly specific.
That is weirdly specific.
It's weirdly specific. I'm going to go with 80s just because when they go
the computers.
And then there's that whole Miami Vice thing that they do.
The computers. That's a really good call, but just remember there are still companies that are using the huge CRTs and the big box underneath it
They're a
like
spy
every day.
firm.
Yeah,
They're a
like
spy
unemployment.
Right.
They're a spy firm owned by the cheapest woman alive.
I love Mallory.
Wait,
Oh
no,
my
it's an
God.
illegal spy firm owned by the
She's terrible.
Right,
It's awesome. Right.
Oh my God. I
And
love
again,
it so
looking
much.
at the phone on Mallory's desk, you may be closer to it than me with the 85.
Yeah, but then,
Yeah, I'd go 80s.
but when he got his new Dodge, that was a brand new car. That was a 2000s model vehicle.
Well,
was a
but if
gift.
okay. Let's talk about the Dane Cook reference though. Like there's so
Exactly,
many references
yeah.
that would not have
Carrie
even
loves
existed.
that one.
Like
I think-
if it, you
I-
know.
I think the indeterminate time period is one of the charms of it.
I was
agree.
just gonna say yes.
Because
Massively intentional.
yeah, because the other thing is like if you look at the clothes that the women wear, mainly the women don't dress like that anymore. Even in the business world, because I work in the business world in my real life, we don't dress like that.
Look at Lana.
honestly,
Look at Lana.
Nobody dresses
Right.
like Lana since like 68.
Well,
I was going to
Exactly,
say her attire is like
exactly.
70s.
they all
Yeah,
dress
she's like
different.
she's
style.
like an Avengers, a mod squad kind
Yes.
of aesthetic for her. So
Yeah, she's late
Yeah, I mean-
60s.
Yeah.
Cheryl would be probably almost Friends era,
Yeah, I was going to
What
say
she
90s.
wears.
yeah,
Her.
like
Yeah,
early
so-
90s.
Well, what about
Friends.
Pam with her pink sweater and pearls?
50s.
50s.
Oh.
Which it makes it even better because she has the pottiest mouth of them all.
Yes, dude.
Oh,
and she's just
yes.
such a
She's my favorite
vamp.
character.
And she's like in the Fight Club. Dude, I love Pam. I love Pam so
How
much.
could you
And let's
not?
be honest. Let's be honest. How about her ability to run that Coke?
Well, dude, I love it. I love it too. When finally somebody, it's like 4 seasons in, and I don't even remember who. She's like, "What is wrong with you?" And Pam just goes, "Nothing. I have so much love to give." It's like,
Are you losing weight?
Okay, since we're on the Pam
oh
subject,
God.
be honest, how hot was coked up Pam?
Oh,
Extremely.
Oh my gosh,
I mean, besides the fact that she
the
improved
hottest
her
girl.
shape.
Yeah, the hottest girl in cartoon history, right there.
Yeah, but dude, the fact
Coked
that
up
she
Pam.
could claw through a brick wall with her bare hands. That was so hot.
Oh yeah.
With the creepy
Yeah.
tattoo on the back.
I love the big like scripture on her back, dude, and the tally marks.
And they never really go into it.
No.
Tattoos.
No.
That's another really cool thing about this show. Archer, for some reason, he has wee baby Seamus's name on him. That's not his kid. He had some other tattoos put on him. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense.
But the continuity, like
Yeah,
that's
and they don't get rid of it.
Seamus is no,
That
yeah,
is true. They all show up in later episodes, and for those that didn't see the previous episode where he got him, it's like,
Huh?
But
Right.
But for those
I
of us who
think
did, it was like,
that creates that much more of a community around the show, which I think is partially why it has lasted as long as it
Mhm.
has in a weird
Yeah.
time slot,
the insider
like kind of
jokes.
pandering to a weird demographic, just a weird aesthetic to the show in general. Like, no offense. I mean, I'm with you. My hand's stamped. But I think that's, and it's got so many like little hidden
Messages?
like things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody own the Shirlene album?
Oh my gosh. It's really
I do.
exist?
It
Really?
does.
Is it as
I own
bad
it.
as I think it is?
No, dude. Here's the thing. It's like shockingly good. Here's the thing. There's a live act. There's a actually recorded version, like an acoustic version of Danger Zone, with whoever they got to do Shirlene's voice and Kenny frickin' Loggins. And it is like it's better
That's
than
funny.
actual Danger Zone.
I got.
I'm not kidding you. Link it below. It'll change your frickin' life. It's amazing.
that's
This
what-
in my life.
It's
that's what
the
they-
album's worth it just for that song.
Is that the one that they did a duet on at the
Yes.
the wedding?
No,
Yes,
it was,
but there's the whole
baby
length-
shower.
Maybe.
Yeah, right. There's the full length song is one of several songs.
That's
on
outstanding.
the album. It's great. It exists.
What a
it's awesome.
what a trivia nugget.
Seriously, it's great.
Nice.
I need
And
this
I
in my
love
life.
that Kenny Loggins like signed on for that. I just love that.
Another interesting thing that I don't think you really get the full scope of the show until you also watch Arrested Development.
Yes,
I think
Mallory.
and no Mallory. We have Jeffrey Tambor. We have Cheryl was in like 10 episodes of Arrested Development. Who else was? Almost everyone from the show has been on Arrested Development.
Right.
So that's a fun little nugget to kind of watch back and forth. If you're not into Arrested Development, this will get you into Arrested Development, just watching it back and forth.
Yes. Like what's her name? Jessica Walters, who plays Mallory.
And the evil mom, yes.
And it's the same character. Like there's no way around it. Like she's, oh my God, she's just so terrible. But you just want to see what awful, awful things she says next.
You know what?
That's why we love her as Mallory.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's the same character in both, honestly.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Right.
exactly.
Very
Right.
much so. What's up, Todd?
One of the things that I found most interesting about the show, once I really got into it and then jumped on the computer and did a little searching on it, have you guys ever seen the guy who voices Archer?
Oh, he's hideous.
Yep. He's the guy in the Arby's commercial.
Yep.
And let me tell you, that man is not attractive.
No.
That's a testament to the wonderful world of voice acting.
Right.
Oh, okay. Self-promotion there, Cari. We get you. We know you're a voice actress. We get it.
But on the other side of that coin, Aisha Taylor.
Yep.
Who voices Lana?
Lana.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Well, she actually looks like Lana, kind of.
She does.
Yeah. Well, they
Cheryl
actually
kind of looks like Cheryl.
Somebody put together a comparison where they took the character, the voice actor, and then the model of the actual character, and did all the comparisons. The one that I find is funny is the guy that voices, Ray.
Lucky
is
Yates?
actually the physical model for Krieger.
Oh,
wow!
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, I could see that.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's an interesting character. And I'm waiting to get into the characters because we have a whole list of the characters, and I want to go in depth in it. Oh man! But I'm gonna wait on that one for a few minutes.
I got one last fun fact about the face voice. Everybody thinks that Cyril Thegus is voiced by Chris Parnell,
who is also Jerry from Rick and Morty.
There you go.
Oh, that was your. I'm sorry.
He looks. No, it wasn't that.
Okay.
But he looks just like Cyril, and everybody thinks that he was just the face model for Cyril too, and he actually wasn't. I forgot the third guy. But it's eerie, like how much Cyril looks like Chris Parnell, and it's just. I find that whole thing just fascinating.
Tell you what, that's another crossover right there. Rick and Morty and Archer, Jerry and Cyril again, same character.
Pretty much.
Is that right?
I think that Rick and Morty had to have taken inspiration from this.
However, I'm not sure that Jerry is quite as well endowed.
No one is as well endowed as well. You, yeah.
Hollow that thing out. You can
I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone.
Please keep going, Deb.
No, I'm done.
All I'm going to say is hollow that big boy out. You could use it as an umbrella stand. I love Pam.
Oh, and
Amazing, dude.
And now I get to drop the hammer. We're good. We're hitting that PG.
I didn't use a dirty word.
You didn't. You're good.
Never said anything.
And my
she did not say the word. No,
yes.
I'm not going to do it again.
Yes, thank you.
That'd be 3.
3 strikes and you're out, Todd.
So delete that. So
Mute.
So my favorite crossover in the entire series so far, anyway, has been the Bob's Burgers. It lasted all of 3 minutes.
Oh my god!
And this is the Bob's Burgers I want to see.
Oh
my
god,
gosh!
that's hilarious.
And it's funny because it's the same voice actor.
Yes.
So it's like, wow! And the way they did
mustache.
it.
The mustache.
It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
I'm just remembering. That was so good.
I would pay for the DVD if they would do all the Bob's Burgers in that animation style.
Oh, yes.
Y'all would.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember like when he first like started, when like aliased up Archer was in a burger stand, and I was like, they're not gonna do it, and then like all of a sudden like it's like they did, and I'm like, that's awesome, man. That's just awesome.
Go ahead.
I like the random Archer like under the radar references in Family Guy.
Well, yeah, he's in that as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I was watching one the other day where they bought a medieval castle, and Peter goes, "Archers, get ready to fire!" And Carl pops his head out. He goes, "Yes."
I never noticed that one.
And Peter goes, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that," and then he goes back in.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, so, I love that stuff too.
Family Guy, that's another one that really does a lot of references. I love it when they have Chris on screen and then they start ripping on Robot Chicken.
Yes.
Oh my God, it's like, this is so beautiful. It's like,
yep.
And you know those guys are all just messing with each other. Like they all know each other. Oh, that's just, I love
the
that.
verbal fencing is on with them, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, no, I'm wondering. It seems like I've heard Mia Kunitz's voice in Archer. Am I making that up in my head?
Don't remember it.
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it, but I think you're making that up in your head.
Was she the voice of the underage princess in the snow one? Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I'm gonna go look right now.
I was just gonna say I'll look it up.
The Russian one?
No.
No, that's Katya. That's his wife.
That's Katya Casanova.
No. Oh, the one that kept taking her clothes off and got a naked ride on the back of the snowmobile.
Yes. I could have nerve damage.
You know, it's amazing that can be actually a definition of a show. You can say that and everyone knows what show you're talking about.
Yep.
Do you remember what her name was?
No, I do not. I know it was season 3, I think. That doesn't help at all. I'm
just looking for if Mila Kunis was ever on the show.
Well, Patrick Warburton was.
Yes, he was. And he was
Joe.
the captain. Oh, I love Patrick Warburton is like my favorite voice actor ever.
He's very recognizable.
If I could have a voice man crush, that's the one. Because his voice is so freaking cool. Shut up, Todd.
Actually, I have a valid question.
Shut up in advance.
Since we've just kind of smoothly segued into this aspect, what's everybody's favorite guest appearance on Archer?
Ooh, Christian
Kenny
Slater.
Loggins.
Kenny Loggins was good. I love what a douchebag he was because and Jason will tell you this. This is the character he really is. They're not making that up.
Yeah, he's not a pleasant person in life.
Ever. I think they had to take out some of the rough edges for it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Amazing.
So the favorite one for you guys isn't television's David Gray?
Television.
Thank you.
Oh God.
Oh,
okay
man.
now. Thanks. Oh.
Actually, I think my favorite one was Burt Reynolds.
Right, Burt Reynolds
Oh,
was on
God,
it.
I forgot
That's
about
what
that.
I was gonna say.
Oh,
Yeah. And then he's
Because he was dating Mallory.
And he was effortlessly cool, and Archer just could not keep up to the line.
Well, because he's always been trying to be Burt Reynolds.
right. I love it when little Archer, it was just a flash of it, but when he has like the cardboard box car and a cowboy, he's bowed down, and then it just like cuts back to whatever else.
And all the references to that film, Gator.
Oh, and that's the worst film ever. That is so bad. I don't know what they were thinking.
Just us laughing about things we remember in Archer.
Well, and again, like every one of these
episodes
is like, oh, I forgot about that. Like that show has so much going on, man.
Right.
Okay.
So good.
Now, what we're going to do a little quick segue here. We're going to go into our lister feedback. I'm going to do the little blanky thing. And then we're going to get into, we're going to just quickly discuss the seasons and our favorite characters. So we'll be right back.
And now, let's see what all of our geek rock stars have to say.
Okay, and we're back. There's so much stuff going on behind the scenes. You guys have no idea. But we're doing our listener feedback now. So Courtney gets to do her job. Do your job, woman.
Do your job, woman.
Wow, crack that whip there.
Get in the kitchen and make me a sandwich while reading listener feedback.
No, it's a sandwich. It's not a sandwich. It's
while
a sandwich.
reading listener feedback.
You know, Courtney, seeing her on the show, I fully expected you to say, "You're not my boss.
You're not my supervisor."
Ooh, hit me with that again. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna do listener feedback now. Okay, so the first person that we asked who our favorite Archer characters were. I'm not gonna read Cari's because she's like right there, so she can tell us hers later.
Right
so
there.
Crystal Midget, haha dub, I got to say it this time. You didn't. Said Lana! Because Lana is the best character on the show.
Nice.
Duh. Lana McPherson went off on a tangent that had nothing to do with Arrow. Archer, because we talked about Arrow. Yeah, so his favorite character on Archer is Arrow.
And Juan, dude, I love you, man.
We appreciate the goofiness.
I wanted to get you on the show for so long. We've got to make it happen.
Appreciate the goofiness. Alex Sund said Dr. Krieger all the way. He likes the way that he's written. His dialogue and story content are always super irreverent and borderline nuts. He's probably one of the boys from Brazil, so the level of historical storyline is fun. And he's an all-around madman, which I love.
Question before we go on, I got to ask this. Is he the clone? Is he a clone or is he the original?
No.
He's the original.
Okay.
Who cares?
It probably depends on which season we're watching.
Okay, keep going.
Jen McGee, Jenny, says Lana as well because she's sassy and fearless. And then before we started recording, everybody had to remind me who this person was. Greg Hinkle says Brett Brunson, the guy who was always being accidentally shot.
And what a superb call.
The end.
Reference.
The ending, the when he died, and there's no spoilers, this happened. When he died, when Archer's, they're in a gunfight, and he's saying, "What is Beaker's boss? What was the name of Beaker's boss?" And this goes on for a good 5 minutes. This during the firefight, he gets shot in the head. And then, Bunson's gone. That was the name.
That's the other thing about the show is something terrible happens, and then Archer will come in with this completely off the wall.
Oh, God.
Side reference.
Yes.
Yeah.
I laughed my butt off because of
it's usually a pop culture reference that just he dredges up.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So yeah.
From nowhere.
From nowhere.
And it's quick enough that you can watch it a second time and still get more, like you were talking about earlier.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Because you will miss half the jokes. I don't care how quick you are.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. They're rapid fire.
It's like watching Letterkenny.
Yes.
It really is.
Fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to keep watching it. I'm on my 4th rewatch of seasons 1 through 5. Yeah, we'll get into that later. Okay, was there any more feedback? Or is
that's all we have.
Okay, and I only gave you guys 1 day of warning, so that's why we only had that many. We appreciate you guys doing it. This is, you can see the sincerity in my eyes. We really appreciate it when you guys do the listener feedback. It helps us out a lot, and I like to think that this show isn't our show. This is your guys' show, and we're just kind of facilitating it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
Not to bring the mood down or anything.
Oh no, that wasn't a negative at all.
Let me just speak directly to you listeners for a second.
I'm not gonna lie, I love our listeners. Our listeners are cool as heck. Most of them. There's a couple of them, and you know who you are. You're buttholes. But everybody else is awesome.
Hold on, you can say that, but I couldn't say what I said.
Buttholes. I think that is
fine.
Yeah, butthole. That's like a metric poop ton. It is geek approved. You're trying to figure out where that line is, aren't you?
Yeah.
We can't go a single show without you talking about the metric poop ton.
I had to work to get that into this episode. I didn't know where I was going to put it. I just found the spot right there.
I'm trying to spot for it.
It is perfect.
Okay,
Well crafted.
so we are going to go through some of the more prominent characters of the show. We're just going to talk about what we like about them, what we don't like about them, and maybe where they're going or if they're going to do anything else with them. And we're going to start, of course, with the star of the show himself, Sterling Archer. Sterling Mallory Archer. Which is another great ongoing joke.
Because every mother should name the middle name of her son her own name.
Her own name.
Which is even more fantastic when you realize that she was getting shot at when she gave birth.
Yes. Oh my God.
There's
Like
just
I would
such a-
watch a whole. I'm sorry. I'm going to save this for my
Phrasing.
favorite character. I'm
would
going to
watch
save
a
this for
whole-
my
okay.
favorite character. But no,
That's
I think
just
he's
a
a
welcome
terrible
amazing.
person, and I
Oh,
think
yeah.
he's kind
Do
of
you
a
think he
bad
is?
guy. I don't know. Well, I think at the beginning he was. I think
I-
he's sort of developed into.
He's like Michael Scott from The Office. The first season,
Yes.
he was horrid.
yes.
And then it's not necessarily his fault that he's the way he is. He's got the mommy issues like severely, but I think he's an idiot savant.
I think he
what's
doesn't. Yeah.
He's
with
so
the,
intelligent and so stupid.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well,
Just-
he's a massive narcissist, and that the first few seasons and everything. It's his defining character. I think when that changed is when Lana presented their child to him.
That's exactly what I was
Yeah.
going to say. That's when I
Okay,
started
yeah.
to like him.
I think we
Genuinely.
could go back a little farther. Honestly, when he started taking care of baby Seamus, wee baby Seamus, there was something about him changed at that point.
Dub,
Yes.
who tattoos a baby?
Archer.
Good point.
No, but again, that goes back to he's just not smart.
He's very dumb.
He's
Yeah.
a genius at the same time. But he's like
Actually-
that uncomfortable level of genius that makes it uncomfortable.
He's a genius, but it only comes in like millisecond parcels.
Moments
Yes.
of lucidity, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yes.
thank you. Perfect.
Yes.
Moments of lucidity.
I think he doesn't even realize that what he does when he does all these terrible things that he does. I think he just doesn't realize how bad those things are.
Yeah.
Of course
Well-
he doesn't. He's a narcissist. As long
And
as
no,
he
and
can
then
do
look
it,
at
it's
his-
right now.
so great.
Look at his upbringing. How on earth
Oh,
would
man.
he have any kind of
Right.
anchor to the real world? Like,
Exactly.
I just love the flash of him sitting alone on the lacrosse field.
Oh.
And his mom just driving away.
You know,
Now-
it's kind of a thing that recurs in the show. It's really disturbing to me how he keeps getting an erection when they talk about Mallory dying.
First episode.
Yeah. And that
First
it's
episode that
ongoing.
happened.
It's ongoing. It happens over
Oh my God.
and over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his mom. So yeah, I say, and if you guys haven't caught it yet, this is a spoiler-filled episode. We mentioned
Oh, yeah.
it earlier.
It's
Now
nice of you to say that now that we've done 2/3 of the show.
we said it at the beginning.
Don't worry, everyone. We won't destroy anything. Brett dies, and they have a baby with Lana.
Mallory-
Fun fact.
Okay, well let's really spoil it all. The coma. What happens? What happens after he's coming out of the coma? This, I think, in 3 days or no, tomorrow, either tomorrow or next week. I'm not sure which. The new season comes out.
It's hard to tell what day it is during the pandemic.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I don't
like
I know it's out either this week or next week. So I don't know if this show's going to be released in time. However, if let's pretend we haven't seen the the season premiere, which we haven't. Where does Archer go after the coma? Are we going back to the old Office cool stuff again, or are we going to
Hasn't it been 3 years?
3 years?
3 years. Yeah.
That means that his child is now a toddler.
What is she like? Yeah. What is she like? 4?
Got to be 4.
Yeah.
According to this, it was supposed to be the 6th of May, but they pushed it back.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, they did.
So we don't know. Yeah.
Okay,
'cause of
so
the
this will be out
coronavirus.
beforehand.
Yeah.
But stupid coronavirus.
I think he's gonna go. I think we're gonna go back to the beginning, back to the roots.
Fair enough.
That's really, I think, the only place it can go at this point
Well,
in time.
We're gonna get
'Cause,
into
I mean,
the
they-
seasons after, but yeah, this is I'm happy if they do. I'll just leave it at that.
But there were so many people that were ticked off at like the noir version. And
I liked those, man.
I
think it's fun.
Nothing but people crapping on the last season where they were out in space.
I hated it.
I laughed my butt off.
I
was
just
hysterical.
finished it.
No, okay. To be fair, I can still laugh my butt off at it, but because the levels is usually right up here, because I'm on video now, so I can do that. But I felt like, and most other shows are right here, so the new shows are here, if that makes sense. So it's better than a lot of shows, but I feel like they're just so far off of their standard.
Yeah.
I think that the Barry stuff is so played off in these other seasons, and just trying to recycle the character without recycling the characters. So I'm hoping they go into something new. Okay, and we'll get into the seasons.
Wow, tough crowd.
Well,
I just finished Space.
We like the
3
things that we
days
love.
ago.
And what'd you think, Court?
Overall, I didn't think it was as good as other seasons, but I did have moments.
That's a high bar, though.
Yeah, I was
did
just
have
going to
moments
say
where I laughed my butt off, but there were also episodes where I didn't crack a single smile, which is weird for an episode of Archer for me because I'm usually at least laughing at least a third of the way.
Yeah.
A third of the time, and those are the not so great episodes for me. But I did not enjoy it as much as I usually do.
Well, sure, but again, that's a high bar standard that you're raising it to.
Yeah.
But
personally,
if they go 5 seasons without dropping that bar, that's when we have issues.
Sure.
Yeah, but one specific thing saved Archer 1999 for me. The representation they had of Pam. I thought she kept the entire season alive.
Yeah.
That big purple rock alien that when she gets sexually excited, she stinks.
Yes.
That's hysterical.
And I did also like Ray as a nod to as a nod to Firefly.
Yeah.
Totally.
Which was
I was okay with that too.
Which, by the way, I think is one of the reasons, like that the different episodes, like the Noir and the Vice and all those. I think that's part of the reason why they do that is so they can make those nods to Firefly and to
absolutely,
so
I love
the pop culture differences, which make the show so strong. They kind of have like a new category that's open to them when they do those different settings. I think.
Nice. Okay, let's move on to our next character. We just went way over on the tandem. I don't think we can talk about seasons. I think we got it. So let's talk about Cheryl/Carol Tunt.
I love that we still just don't know. It's just
Cheryl. Her name is
Cheryl/Carol.
Her name is Charlotte in
Charlotte.
Dreamland.
Charlotte. Yeah.
Wasn't it Crystal for a little while?
And Crystal.
And it's Charlene when she was a country star.
Yep.
You know, is she like a psychological issue? Is she a multiple personality type?
She's a nut.
She's
a nut job.
You think she's just a sociopath?
Yes, she's a straight across the board sociopath. Everything
she has feelings.
Everything is about her. Period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's everybody in the office, though, too.
Yes and no, but she's a straight sociopath.
Yeah.
The other ones have sociopathic tendencies. She is a sociopath.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no distinction for her.
But what makes her such a great character... Oh, go ahead.
However, in the last season, she turned out to be one hell of a space jock. A fighter pilot.
I like where she was whining about it.
She hated it. But she
I don't want to go kill everybody.
But I think, as I think what makes her such a great character, just like everybody else, but she's so over the top in a different way than anybody else is.
Yes.
Yeah. A death wish is definitely a different way.
The death wish. I mean, it's, everyone likes to point out, the sexual proclivities, but that's not really what it is. It's almost suicidal.
It totally is. Sex and death are very much
for her
top line with her.
Oh yeah, she gets turned on by violence. It's
choking during sex.
Right.
Oh, jeez.
Or even watching the violence around her.
I love
turn
her
around
her
kills
glue
me.
addiction is not touching it and eating it. Like
That
that's
big
yeah.
long runner.
Right. I love it. You guys mind if I glue up? And Mallory's just like, your house. Just like,
and then when they get the revelation that she's one of the richest people on the
she's
planet.
rich.
Yeah,
Right.
Rich.
Right.
She's like Rockefeller money.
I love it when she gets so mad because like they're trying to make the certain run on the trains. Like we could get there in a certain number of hours and like they have to stop and she just freaks out because they're like they almost did it. Like, I don't know. It's just it's awesome.
God, I
She's
love it.
a character too.
And
Off the
honestly,
wall in a
guys,
different
So insane.
honestly, every time I hear her last name, I just start to giggle.
Well, that's which
And
is
I
done
like how
on
they made
purpose.
I like
Of
how they
course.
made her Vandertunt in Dreamland in the noir. Charlotte Vandertunt.
Yeah. Now, I think her character got the most interesting when they did discover the money thing because the dynamic between her and Mallory changed so much.
Figure that out.
I mean, it's obvious what happened, but at the same time, it was just it's made it so much more interesting to me because otherwise she was just a peon and she's a very disposable character. Once that happened, there is no more disposable character on that.
Oh yeah. I think Mallory's
point.
still kind of like when Cheryl, Carol, Shirley, and Charlotte is not in the room. Mallory is still just like, oh, for God's sake! But you know, it's she's like, but she's needed now
Yeah.
because the agency, quote unquote, is broke, and
Well, yeah, and Mallory is still trying to do everything in her power to get her hooks in the money.
exactly.
And she will until she dies.
Yeah.
And don't forget, when we found out she was rich, we got introduced to the Ocelot.
Oh.
Yeah, what was the ocelot's name? I
Babu.
forgot. Babu.
Babu.
And I love how it just like shows it in the room. It's like, and then it like goes back. Like it's just.
And then
But it showed up in space.
Well, yeah, the name.
There's
It's in all of them. It's Babu, the name, or like the logo has been in every single one of those since he showed up.
Or he'll mention it, which kills me. Like, I mean, I was rewatching Dreamland. That's why most of these are stuck in my head for Dreamland. But he's got a dog in the car with him, and he's like, I don't need a spirit animal. If I did, it would be an ocelot.
Again,
And
the same going back to references, yes.
And where did the writers come up with ocelot? That's what we need to go for. Not
Let's
a
use
leopard,
that animal.
not like a panther, an ocelot.
No,
Dub,
ocelot.
think about the mentality behind the people writing this show. There's a lot of weirdness there.
There's a lot of munchies going on. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of snacks.
But yeah,
Snacks.
I think Babu actually could be considered a character at this point because he's become important to the plot itself.
Yes.
As if only a reference.
Yeah.
I say that's
For sure.
it's fan service. Like when Dub gets on the microphone and says, "Hey guys, thanks for doing your listener supported." You know, it's kind of the same thing, only they're saying Babu.
Yep. Exactly like that.
Dub's an ocelot.
Wow.
I'm an
Yes.
ocelot.
Wow.
I'm an ocelot. Wow.
Wow.
Let's move on to our most fortunate yet unfortunate character, Cyril Figgis.
Oh, poor Cyril.
Every woman
love it.
hates him.
He's like Cyril.
Cyril is
The
like,
man's hung
oh.
like a tripod.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but he's such a dweeb.
his character is so pathetic.
Stir Fry Wednesday.
They had to give him that.
Stir Friday.
Otherwise,
Stir Fry Friday, that's right.
Babe, it's Stir Friday.
Thanks, Carrie. I forgot it was Friday.
That's all right.
oh,
Like, but I love him. You have to love him. You understand? Like, Lana presumably went from dating Archer to dating Cyril.
him,
like,
yeah.
and you can,
Right.
you can definitely
Dating,
see
that's
what we
why.
call it
He's
now.
so much. He's like, here's the thing. Nobody on the show is like a good person except Cyril. Cyril's a good person.
no. When he
He's a
when he took
piece
over,
of cow
when he
flop.
took over the drug house, you
Such a
can tell
dweeb.
me as dictator, you can tell me he was a good person. He was ready
No,
to kill
not
all his
then.
friends.
How
Not
about the
then.
German
That's
on
fair.
Danger Island?
Yeah,
Yes.
Oh,
So now with that point being said, every
That might
single
be my
character,
favorite iteration of Cyril. Danger Island might be. I really like him as the jerk off cop.
To hear him talking about his schmanza.
But going back to what Cari said, hey,
You're gonna have to put a warning label on this show.
amazing.
But no, every character has good and bad, and I think that's what you're hitting on, and you just kind of forgot that Cyril's.
I forgot about that one. Yeah. Never mind.
But you know what? In real life, we all do good things. We all do bad things, which I think is important. I think that's kind of important to the show, because if you made anybody all good, now
It wouldn't be interesting.
the only purely bad person
It would be
until
boring.
the last 3 minutes of the last episode would be Mallory. She did not have a single good characteristic until she did something nice at the end. You find out at the end of when he comes out of the coma.
What about Barry? He's all bad.
Barry wasn't though.
Barry, what? Archer made him bad.
He just
He was a
worked for-
complete piece of she, and you know it.
He was a jerk, but he wasn't a bad person.
No, he wasn't a bad person.
You know, he worked
did
for
what
the
spies do.
government. Archer didn't, and so I mean, think about
He was as big a douche as Archer.
that. Doesn't mean
Yeah.
he's a bad person.
Right.
He's just a little bit of a jerk.
Exactly.
Honestly, I
bit.
think he's probably a better person than Archer. It's like if you look at like season 1, 2, Barry, Archer's he's a jerk too.
That was a great job of self-editing.
Yeah, that was. So we have now transitioned.
The only thing that makes Barry the bad guy is he works for the big boys, and Archer doesn't.
Now we've now transitioned to Barry, so let's discuss him a little bit more as far as going into him becoming the robot,
Cyborg.
the bionic man.
Cyborg, where
He is Steve Austin, Steve Austin, the $1 million, $5 million man, or whatever.
$6 million. They even dress him in the red tracksuit.
They do.
Yes.
But again, going back with what Archer did to his fiance, how are you not going to turn that way?
Yeah.
On camera. You know, I don't. He has a fragile ego as it was, and then he just blew up. I mean, not that he wasn't trying to score with Lana in the meantime, but do you like him with Katya or without Katya?
Barry?
Yeah,
I like him, period. With or without. Yeah,
he's just fun.
He's
I like
a
him
great
with
character
Katya.
because you can always depend on him to do the douchiest thing available. As long as it hurts Archer.
Yeah.
Yes.
What season was it that he kidnapped Mallory?
Oh, jeez. I remember it, but I don't know when.
I'd say that was, I think, a really good development for his character. It doesn't really matter. We'll get to it, I'm sure. But it was, I say that's the point that I decided that I like him as a character. I may not like him, but as a character, he was very fascinating. But because he had to do something so heinous and kind of have a reason, if that makes sense.
So the reason has always been to punish Archer.
Right.
It doesn't matter what the situation is.
So short of killing him, is there anything he can do to stop that?
I mean, you want to get real dark? Kill Lana, kill his kid? Like, either of those things.
You're not allowed to write for Archer. You'd make this.
No, I mean, like, well, you asked, dude. You asked.
She's right, though.
He is smart enough to know that killing Mallory would only make Archer happier.
Yeah.
So she's off the block. But yeah, Lana and the kid, way to go, Dark Cari.
Wow.
You freaking asked.
Dun, 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 dun,
He did.
dun, dun, dun. Come to the dark side. We have Archer. Okay, well let's move on to because we're on Barry. Let's go to Katya Casanova. Very interesting character. Hasn't shown up as much as you think she has. She's only been on like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
But it feels like she's such an integral part of the show.
I think I can say for every red-blooded American heterosexual male, well drawn.
I got to tell you, the voice actress that does her voice, she's a redhead, but she looks just like the character.
Really?
Really?
Oh, I
She's
know.
a redhead.
She's looking up after.
I was going to say,
She's
Todd,
a-
to the internet.
She's an
Away
older.
we
She's
go.
older than Katya is, but she's this beautiful bombshell redhead.
But very
It is-
interesting character, I think.
I mean,
is-
she is a
the voice
walking
actor-
inciting incident.
Yeah,
like-
the voice actor's name is Ona Grauer. She is a Mexican-Canadian actress.
really. I would not have expected that.
Fascinating.
Ironically, she does a lot of work on the Hallmark Channel.
Where you
Now I have
are
to
not
watch the
allowed
Hallmark
to-
Channel.
That's
You are
amazing,
not
dude.
allowed to leave your vagina in the sink.
Editing.
What? It's a freaking body part.
Oh boy.
Butthole.
I didn't do it.
Okay. Let's go on to who we were discussing earlier, and my favorite character on the show, Pam Poovey.
Pam! I love Pam.
What kind of a name is Poovey? What is the ethnic background on that?
It
She's a
doesn't matter.
farmer. They raise
She's
her.
from Wisconsin.
She's from
Sure, a farmer is an ethnic group, but thank you for your input.
Listen, you're not from the Midwest, bro. You don't know. You don't know.
Oh, it's coming out. That accent's
Listen.
about to come out. Ooh.
You don't. Listen,
Listen here,
Tad.
city boy.
Listen, Tad. You don't know anything. You're not allowed to say that word. That's our word.
Farmer?
Yes.
This little caboose has gone right off the rails.
Wow.
Oh, God.
You listen here. I'm gonna tell you a thing or two.
That sounds exactly like her sister.
Oh, that's right.
They didn't just pull that accent out of thin air.
No.
So I guess the biggest question of the show would be, how does
How
a
she is
Midwest how does a Midwest doofus like that get a job in a spy agency in the big city?
I don't think she's ever been a doofus. I think that she had a very specific plan on what she wanted to do, and she knows how to do what she wants to do. I think
Sexual harassment dolphin.
So that was like early on.
Yeah.
Beating her up with
Oh.
your dolphin, Pam.
God.
Oh my god, dude.
I think she is the most calculating person on the show. I think she's the one that, other than her coke time, she always knows what's going on, and she always has a plan.
I'd agree with that. Yeah.
I also think she's really the only one that kind of understands Archer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why
And-
she became his best friend.
Yeah, that's why they're best friends, because she's really the only one that kind of understands everything that's going on in that screwed up head of his.
Yeah.
And
Maybe that goes back to her HR background.
Well, and of
You
course,
know,
not
she
only
has
does
some kind
she
of
become,
social work degree.
but not only does she become Archer's best friend, she boinks him to the point where he can't feel his legs.
that's true.
So she's got the respect factor from Archer.
But honestly, I would have preferred that that would be the one coupling that ever happened on the show.
Pam and Archer.
Dude,
Pam and Archer. I liked
coupling.
I liked that it happened, but at the same time, I would rather there's like a weird unspoken sexual tension that kept going.
Yeah, but dude, there was like 2 seasons where everybody was just hopping in bed with everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I get what you're saying, Deb.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been the one unrequited moment of the entirety of the series.
And
So,
then as they got to be better friends, then it was like too late to do it.
yeah.
I think that would be-
yeah.
And she's another one whose character keeps changing a lot as well.
Yeah.
Especially when they do the coma ones, because like Todd said, she's the big purple rock monster alien.
And then in Danger Island, she was like the big butch mechanic.
and
in the noir one, she was
an
well,
ambiguous police officer.
yeah.
And they did.
Here's Pat.
Yeah. No, she was Poovey. She was just called Poovey the entire time.
Yeah.
And they never addressed whether she was a man or a woman.
Yeah. I
noir.
thought it was kind of unspoken that it was a man, that she was a dude in that. I don't know.
Well,
They left it ambiguous.
Yeah.
Because
And I read an article about it where they said that's exactly what they meant to do. It's like, they wanted to mess around with that and see what they could see what people thought.
Pardon me for 1 second.
Okay, well, I'll keep going. But
He vanished.
I can say this with the.
Sorry, my idiot cat was doing this under the door.
Oh, that's not good.
Well, backhead, like I said.
Everything you see in those last 3 seasons is Archer's take on these people. So therefore, when you see all these ambiguous things, Pam acts like a dude. She's a stereotypical dude. So that's why, of course, in his mind, he would
identify her as a dude.
Yeah. Because that's why they can be friends.
Oh,
love
that's
it.
a good. Yeah, look at that. Okay.
Yeah, I feel almost.
Wow.
Yeah, look at
Dub the
that.
psychologist.
We've done too many of those psychology of episodes.
It makes a lot of sense. True.
Okay, let's move on to Carrie's favorite, one Mallory Archer. I'm gonna sit back. Just go for it. Go for it.
Oh, I love Mallory's character so much. She's so terrible, and I love it. I love it.
Sorry.
I love it.
My cat decided to change my camera.
No, I love Mallory's, I don't know, just, I could watch a whole show on just like prequel Mallory.
Yeah.
Before Archer was in the picture.
I can at least watch a mini series on it, a 1 season, or even like 6 episodes. Because she has such just her and Woodhouse just going tearing it up.
Yes, I know exactly. Like
her dry delivery is so good. Like the delivery of the line, the insult.
She really, honestly, doesn't give a crap.
No, it's just so good.
Well, and I love that even as awful as all of the other characters are, Mallory will just drop something terrible.
Yeah.
And they all just kind of look at her and like, Jesus.
And they expect it. They expect it.
Right. They just, because it's just dead silence for a second. It's like, my God. Because it's just so awful.
And it's usually Lana who's like,
really? Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Okay, let's go back for a second. You talked about you want to do a prequel. And we said let's do it with Woodhouse and Mallory. Who would be your funny character? Because they're both straight men.
I don't think the prequel is a comedy.
Oh, okay.
I don't think the prequel is Archer-esque. I think it's the same animation style, but it's straight drama.
Dark. Bro. Just dark.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm down with that.
Well, you could bring in the pilot, who was Patrick Warburton.
Yes.
Because that's part of his past.
Mm-hmm.
You can find out. You can find out who Archer's father really was. You could have Jeffrey Tambor come back on.
True.
You can have him and the KGB agent always like, yeah, there's a lot you could do with that. Okay, FXX, you've heard it here. We're copywriting it now. Make this happen. I'm not even going to ask for anything. I just wanted to see this.
We have to voice cast the Woodhouse because the guy who played Woodhouse has actually passed away.
Which I thought the way they handled that, too.
I thought it was classy.
Can we just skip to Woodhouse?
Yeah, let's go to Woodhouse.
I thought the way they handled that was classy. I thought that part made me cry. Like it was perfect.
Yeah.
It was well done.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you guys are aware of it. His character is listed on their official website as Sir Arthur Woodhouse. He was a knight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
he got 200 Nazi scalps or something.
There is so much I want to see in his backstory.
Yes.
Because if you went back, you don't have to have old Woodhouse. You can have a younger version.
You get somebody else, yeah.
And I don't.
Well, and there was an allusion to the fact that like he maybe was gay, and like it's so yeah. No, I'm telling you what, prequel, it needs to happen.
And explain to me how he got addicted to heroin because he doesn't seem like the type.
It was maybe after his bout with cannibalism.
I think that would make anybody go that way.
Long pig.
Yeah, Dub, real fast, just for clarification, what is the type for addiction?
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. Okay, now moving on. Let's talk.
Sure. No. I asked this because don't forget, Sherlock Holmes was also
Cocaine.
an opiate fiend. So,
well,
I mean,
if someone can't get past a day without their heroin, that would be a certain type of.
I get a little edgy after 2 days myself, yes.
Yeah. It's just a lot. We're going to have an itchy night tonight. Okay, let's go on to our favorite clone of Hitler, Krieger. So,
Krieger.
Yep.
Okay, first off, is he a clone of Hitler? Is he one of the clones, or is he the original? There's so much to this character, and what is with the weird Japanese hentai thing with him? Gee,
The anime girlfriend.
oh, everything about him is cringeworthy.
The holographic anime girlfriend.
That he like argues with. Like that's my favorite thing. It's just like
Honestly, folks, his van with Rush on the side.
That's all you need to know.
That's perfect.
his drum setup so he can play XYZ.
My.
Like
Oh my.
YYZ, thank you.
or
Oh my
YYZ.
God.
He's a drummer. Sorry.
Oh, he kills me.
But I love one of the original Krieger things that as my favorite is when he's like, "Are you addressing me? Your authority is not recognized in Fort Kick-Ass." And it was like, sorry, but it was like it's that just I remember that because I was still kind of getting into the show and figuring out the aesthetic and stuff. And when he said that, I just busted up laughing, and it was like I think I was like giving plasma at the time, so I was like in a public place and I laughed loud, and it was like.
And there you are, all plugged into the blood machine, snorting.
Oh yeah. I was just like trying to like watch it. Then it's like, oh my God. And it just moved on to the next thing. That's another thing. The pace of the show is
you don't
brilliant.
get to sit there and bask in it.
Yeah, if
Right,
you blink,
no.
you miss a lot.
Exactly.
Which again, this is why we rewatch it.
My personal favorite Krieger was seasons 1 through 3 when they were in the office all the time. And he kept making this veiled reference to nerve gas in the air conditioning system.
That's right.
Yeah.
And finally, Archer asked him, "You really did that?" And he looks right at him and goes, "No."
His deliveries are brilliant.
Yes.
Yes.
Like
perfect
somebody will go say, "Well, are
comedy
you gonna?" I love it when, especially when they'll say something. "Well, are you gonna do this?" "Well, I'm not now." It's like there's that constant kind of reference. Well, now that you mentioned it, no. I mean,
Well, wasn't there like he was testing out like a bulletproof vest or something on like an intern, and the kid like died, and he's like, "Well,
Oh, there you go. Now,
or somebody will make a Nazi joke, and he's always like, "Oh yeah, sure, tell me about Nazis."
yes."
I love Krieger too.
Krieger's
So
awesome.
weird.
but I tell you what's interesting with this character is, as much as we all say, everybody's immoral on that show, to him, he does not have a morality at all.
Yeah, he's the
It's
definition
Too
of amoral.
insane.
So
Yeah.
when he does something that we would say is bad, to him it's like Tuesday. He's not meaning to. He's not trying to hurt anybody. He doesn't comprehend anything else exists.
Yeah.
Well, he's motivated strictly by what is or is not possible through science.
Yes.
There is no moral compass.
What the
Correct.
definition of a mad scientist, really?
Exactly.
Okay, let's move
love
on.
him.
Let's move on to we got 2 left. Ray Gillette, Lucky Yates himself.
Ray.
Like Ray.
What, I get this weird feeling like he's like in a closet or something at times. I don't know if that's a.
I love his when Lana was trying to get back at Archer and they're all lining up to essentially have sex with her in the office, and Ray is in line, and I think somebody like, "Oh, Cyril,
Cyril.
Getting back at Cyril, that's what it is. And Cyril like questions him, and he's like, "Please, nobody's that gay." And it's like, it's just, and like the fact that he has like this whole redneck background, and it's beautiful, man. I love Ray.
Oh,
That
and
was a very
swinger
strange-
brother. Oh my gosh.
Very strange episode when they went back to his brother's place.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very strange episode.
With the wife swapping and all that. It's like, okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, let's be honest. The brother really gets to, he gets to move up the belt because he gets Lana. I mean, come on.
I thought that was Tunt.
Was it Tunt? I don't remember.
I don't remember.
All I remember about that episode is finally like the guy who bullied Ray in childhood, and they
sheriff.
were like kind of like making amends. And he
Yeah.
says you were very pick-onable. I'm like, that's
That's such a good. That is such a great.
very
definition.
pick-onable.
Now, tell me, is that something that you would hear out of the cop's mouth in what is it, Michigan?
Oh man, good question. No, if I said it with the dialect, you wouldn't understand me. So I'll skip that.
No, whenever
Very
somebody says
thick.
Michigan, your voice just goes. You go right into that accent. It's
Right to
amazing.
march into.
It's just like it's right there.
You turn into a poobie, yeah.
I'm gonna go make some lemon bars. You all just sit tight. Sneak right by, and I'm gonna go in the kitchen and make some bars.
Don't forget to open the window to let out the air.
The window.
That's what we do in Ohio. That's how we do it in Ohio, baby.
That's
You gotta
that
open
weird
up the window.
Amish, whatever it was you just did there.
You gotta open the window. You gotta put the dishes in the sink.
Are those the one people we're allowed to make fun of on internet? Is the Amish, since they can't watch this anyway?
Yes,
Nice.
You're not gonna be hurt by this.
Yeah.
Nice.
Not that
Those
trying to
people
make
can
fun
put
of
up a
them.
bar.
They can, and I wish I could do it. It's all good. Okay, Ron Cadillac, last person we're going to talk about today.
We're not going to cover Lana?
Didn't we?
Yeah, we skipped Lana.
We skipped Lana?
skipped
Okay,
Lana.
scratch that. Ron Cadillac, cool character. Lana. Honestly, I mean, talk about a
Feminism.
Lana.
quote-unquote feminist icon.
Lana.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Lana is a feminist
Thank God for
icon
small
who
miracles.
has no difficulty whatsoever using sex as a weapon.
As previously referenced.
Well,
Yep.
the great definition of feminism is equal to a guy, and she is just like a dude. So,
Well, I mean, she's
And we're
like
gonna-
She's got the hands for it.
oh,
That's right. You're talking about her man hands. Love it.
and the other misshapen parts of her body that we're not going to go into.
Well, one of my favorite relatively clean Lana jokes is
Oh, good
when
luck.
they decide to I don't remember why they were going into Russia. I think it was when Archer and Barry were Black Hawk Down essentially.
Okay, yeah.
And they were going to Mallory was going to send Lana in and undercover. And Lana goes, undercover as what? Russia's only black woman? And I mean, just, no, yeah, she is the quintessential 60s spy femme fatale.
But I
Right.
will say this, and this is how slow I was on the uptake. For the first couple episodes, I didn't realize she was black.
What, were you watching it
You're
on a
watching
black and white
racial
television?
porn
Well,
5 minutes into the episode. Yes. Yes.
I guess she's black. Okay. No, it's funny because they've never made that into an issue of any type, which that could be fodder for months, and they just never really hit on that at all. And I don't know if I'm well, are you being wusses by not covering it, or are you being smart and not covering it? I don't know.
By saying fodder, were you trying to ingratiate yourself to the Midwesterns then?
Fodder.
Otter isn't a Midwestern word. What
I
are you
don't-
talking about?
Not
As the head of the household?
And
isn't it the
anyway,
fodder?
it's pronounced fatter. Get your act together.
Oh wow.
Jeez Louise.
Can we do the rest of the show? The show's almost over, so can you do the rest of the show like that, there, Carrie?
No. No.
And that's
Wow.
a show because I'm making you
That's a
finish
show.
it there. Oh, this show was a blast. I know we went on 1.5 million rabbit trails. Thanks for
Darn
sticking
good
in.
panel.
This was
Archer will do that too. Yeah.
absolute blast. So let's, Cari, are you working on any projects right now you want to plug?
Yeah, I'm going to be playing in Jasper's Game Day on Monday. It's an online event. It's going to be hosted on Twitch by Mini Terrain Domain. It's a charity event to benefit mental health and suicide awareness through gaming.
Nice.
Very cool.
Make sure we get a link on the page.
I'll send you one.
We always push it. You push your stuff because we love Cari. She's one of my favorite celebrity hosts we get in.
Oh my God! Stop.
You love that. You know you do.
Stop it.
She comes on this.
Oh,
so
please stop. Okay, a little.
So she's
Stop.
getting
No,
called
no,
a celebrity. That's why she comes on every episode that I let her. She loves it. Look at that. And you can actually see it on camera now, which is actually even more amazing.
Right? Oh my gosh.
This is just for me and you, but now everybody gets to see it. Okay, and listen to the end of the show, and you can find where to get a hold of us. Cari, did you want to give up your? I know you don't give out your information, do you? Because there's students and such, right?
What do you mean?
Your socials.
Oh yeah, isn't that fine? I'm
Okay.
Cari Scholtens on Facebook. I'm at Cari Scholtens on Twitter.
And if you're
and
one
I
of our
don't have
students, she
Instagram
won't
because I'm
accept
getting
you.
old. Yeah, right. Yeah, and so that's me. I do voices. Look me up. Pay me. It's great.
Yes, we can
That's
all
the
use
best
that right
plug
now.
I think I've ever heard. Look me up. Pay me.
Pay me.
So until next time, let's see if we can do this right. I'm Dub.
I'm Miss Geeky Page.
I'm Todd.
And I'm Cari.
Yay! Keep on geeking on.
Keep on
You never
geeking
get
on.
it right
Keep on
these-
geeking
This one never works right, but keep on geeking on.
You have been listening to the latest episode of the iHeart Geek Show. Make sure you visit our website at www.iheartgeekshow.com. Make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And if you check us out on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And keep on geeking on to all of you geek rock stars.